Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sheen,
This is Johnny.
and this is Think Harder. Check out our other videos. If you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing, give a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. All right, what are we going to talk about today, Johnny?
Coronavirus, that's the hot topic right
All
now.
right, yeah,
So
coronavirus.
we're so far corona free.
Yeah.
So how did it start? Like let's talk about where did it start from and what's the theory behind
Yeah, so
it?
my uncle had made, no.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it started in a market in Wuhan, China.
Is that been confirmed? I hear that's the theory. It came
Yeah,
from
I
the
mean,
market
I think
and
that's the consensus. Like,
but
I
the
don't think there's a way to like prove it for
100%
it's like,
there. Yeah.
yeah, like I don't think, I mean, I don't think there's a way to like track it because it's like,
So many people had it.
so many people had it and it just spread so fast. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's conspiracy theories out there because there's a research laboratory close to the market there,
Yeah.
and then some conspiracy theories like one of the workers might have accidentally
Got it.
got it out of
Yeah.
the lab, and then it spread from there. But nobody's ever gonna know. Like,
It's one thing I'm kind of curious about. The thing is they're saying it's coming from bat, right? But people have been eating bat for a while there. It's not like it's like a new thing.
yeah,
So the
well,
one theory is this: maybe when they were hunting the bat, and the bat, the guy had like a cut or something with a person, and the bat even to bit him, and then that's how it transferred.
yeah. I mean, there's, I mean, it's like there's no way to be for sure certain like how it was transmitted. But
Yeah.
one thing for sure is that the whatever species were involved have to come together
Yeah,
at one point at one time
yeah.
for it to jump to a human because this is not a human virus.
Yeah.
It was never found in a human.
What I'm curious about, like the eating the bat thing, is it something new that was introduced there in the market or in that place? Or has it always been around for hundreds of years, or is this?
Yeah, I mean, so that market, they call it like a wet market.
Yeah.
So they have lots of different live animals
Yeah,
all together at the same time, and so
for a
like
long time. That market's been around for a while, right?
I assume, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how long, but I'll link a video in the description below. The current theory is that it originated in the bat,
Yeah.
and then it it jumped from the bat
Bat
to
to a
this
human, yeah.
no to this I forgot what it's called, what the animal's called. It's a four-legged some four-legged animal, and then from there, which that animal is, I don't know if the bats are sold in that market,
Okay.
but that particular animal, I forgot what it's called. We'll put a thing on the
Link it?
screen about what
Okay.
this is, but that animal is sold at that market for sure.
Oh, okay.
And so the current theory that I saw, we'll link the video in the description, is that it jumped from the bat
Yeah.
to this animal,
Yeah.
and then this animal to the human because it was in the market.
I see.
And so, I mean, just in general, it's like it's not a good idea to have all these live animals in one place
Yeah, yeah.
at the same time, and it's just not a good
It's not a
idea.
good idea. Yeah. Also, searching that, like eating bat is not just a Chinese thing. It's other places, even Indonesia. I think some market had it, and some other places, people eat it. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean the thing is like if you cook it, it's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna die.
Yeah.
But when you have live animals, transmitting fluids and disease and sickness
Oh, I see in
in a
that,
market,
yeah.
they're in cages, and you have also humans handling it.
Yeah.
Like just that's just a recipe for disaster. Like
Something's gonna happen.
and it
Yeah.
happened in whatever it was 2013 with SARS, and it happened
Yeah.
now with coronavirus. But
So you think there should be a law to ban, having that type of animals?
yeah, so in this video that we're gonna link,
Yeah.
it talks a lot about that, and you should watch that video.
Really? Okay.
But,
Yeah. I haven't watched it.
So it talks about
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
there are these markets,
Yeah.
and there are, I mean, the government allows these markets to
Yeah.
exist, and it says they say, I mean,
Yeah.
you have to kind of do your own research, but the video talks about the reasoning why these markets exist, and so it kind of dates back into I think the 1970s when basically China was dirt poor,
Yeah.
so the government encouraged them to encourage the people to do anything that makes money that if they can sustain themselves,
Yeah.
then the government promoted it.
Okay.
So it's like if you're doing this and you're not hurting anybody,
Yeah.
then the government promoted it. They're going to allow you to do it.
Yeah.
And one of the things was like raising these wildlife species for
Yeah.
profit for consumption,
I see.
and then a whole market of like medicinal things like eating whatever
Yeah. Get you this and
get
this. Yeah.
hooves makes you perform better or have
Yeah.
sex better or whatever, like all these kind of things, and that's like a whole market now
Yeah.
that people believe. And so the government's like, well, I mean, people are sustaining themselves,
Yeah.
and you know,
Making money out of it.
it's
So
making
what's
money,
the,
and the economy's growing, so the government kind of supported it.
yeah.
And so now moving into the future, like
Yeah.
in current days, like like not everybody eats like that, even in China. Like there's a small portion of people that do,
Yeah.
and according to this video, it's kind of like the higher, like rich people that can
Really? I thought it'd be
afford.
the other way around. Oh, because they're very expensive?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
these wild animals, like and like shark fins and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know shark fins is very expensive because there's high demand for it.
yeah,
You
well,
know,
and it's
yeah.
hard to get, and it's illegal everywhere else. So,
Yeah.
and like things like this, they're expensive because in other places they're illegal,
Yeah.
and so they're hard to get, and obviously that's why it's expensive, and
Yeah.
only the people that can afford it
Yeah.
is really rich. So it's that really rich market that wants all these exotic things,
Yeah.
and so that again, the really rich people have ability to influence the government,
I
and
see.
so that's why the government is kind of keeping these markets around.
Yeah.
At least that's what that video talks about. I mean, how true it is, I'm not sure. But
But if it's creating all these diseases and stuff, then why not have that fear? Like, hey, do I want to expose myself? You know, I think rich people will be caring more about. I mean, going along, just being devil's advocate. You know, why would rich people risk their life? And
well, I mean,
yeah,
well, I don't think they know, but they know better. I mean, like we know because we kind of understand like viruses and
Yeah.
bacteria and like they're probably just not thinking that way. They're just probably just thinking like this.
oh, this will give me a superpower. Or
Yeah,
something
this
like that.
this this cow hoof is gonna make
Yeah.
my muscles bigger or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so as far as spreading, like, why did it spread? Or I feel like we found out what not too long ago, right? Like, I feel like all of a sudden I opened my TV and like China's facing all this, big problem.
Yeah.
I guess, but in that town, it's been a big issue for a while, right? It was just kind of kept
and
quiet,
I don't
or
know what the official date was, but
yeah,
I think it was like towards the end of December.
yeah, I
that
think
was-
so, somewhere around there. But even then, it was not something you hear about. All of a sudden, you just like, hey, it's a chaos, and I feel like it just didn't happen overnight. It had to happen. Like, when do you figure out, hey, this flu that's going around,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
mean,
something ordinary flu, it's something
yeah.
different, So,
Yeah, there's a timeline out there, but I'm not sure exactly
Yeah.
what the timeline is. How they
did it and all, yeah.
yeah
But apparently China has a good control of it now. It's kind of reducing.
yeah. I mean that's the thing about the communist government is like
Yeah.
they have the power to do anything. It's like
Yeah.
if they say we're gonna close down the city, then the city gets closed down. It's
Yeah,
like,
there's no saying or
there's
buts.
there's nobody arguing against it. It's
Yeah.
like there's nobody saying like I'm gonna sue the government.
Yeah.
I need to get to there. It's like there's none of
Yeah,
that. Like,
yeah, you shut it down.
yeah, you shut it down. The government says shut it down, you shut it down. Period.
Yeah.
There's no questions asked.
Yeah.
So that I mean, that it could have been a lot worse. It could and well, it could still it
Be
could
not
have
be-
been
yeah, yeah.
a lot worse.
It still could be.
Yes, but I mean, as far as today,
Yeah.
in China, the numbers are going down
Yeah.
of new.
It's
new
rising
cases.
most other places though.
Yeah, so
it's,
now it's in other places, so in like Italy and South Korea.
yeah. That's what surprised me the most, Italy being affected by it. I don't know what the connection is between Italy and China or
Well, I mean now we're just a global economy. It's like
yeah.
you
But that's a
get
country I
get
don't
on a flight-
expect it. I expect more maybe Japan, maybe I don't know. China has a good connection. Even the U.S.
Yeah.
Be more of a threat.
Yeah,
than
I mean,
Italy. Yeah.
there's I mean people were on cruises and it was in the cruise and
Yeah.
and the thing was like it doesn't you could have it for like up to 2 weeks and not show any symptoms.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's why I think it's spreading so fast. Is because you don't show symptoms right away, and it's not like something that's so devastating. Like Ebola, it scared me. You're throwing up, and it's you definitely are cautious.
Yeah, like,
Something's-
watch out for that
Yeah,
guy.
watch out for that person. With
this one you're walking around fine for
you
like
go
2
around,
weeks.
like you're coughing a little bit. I'm coughing every
Yeah.
now and then. You don't, you guys just have a bad throat or something. You don't think about it. So it's easy to carry around. So you don't know.
Right. But I mean, so I mean, is the freak out justified? People going to Costco and like
buying
up all the
water.
water and I
Yeah,
don't
that
know-
part I don't get it.
I don't know why they're buying so much toilet paper.
Yeah, that's another thing. I don't know. Like it's like a lot of the Muslim country, like even they use water to clean their
Yeah, it's,
butt.
like, it's,
Yeah.
it's much. I mean, you wipe your butt and like it's still there.
It's
Come
still
on.
there. Yeah, like worst case scenario, ran out of toilet paper, goes take a shower.
Yeah,
Like,
so I don't know why people
Yeah.
are freaking out buying toilet paper.
Yeah.
I mean, buy water, yeah, get some gas, yeah, I guess,
Yeah.
canned food, but toilet paper, really?
yeah, I mean it's not that type of. I mean it's a
Yeah, I think people are just freaking out because like
yeah.
you see on the news other people buying toilet
Yeah,
paper.
like, well, they
and then-
know.
and then like,
Yeah.
well, they might know something that I don't know, I guess. And
Yeah,
then- So it's kind of
exactly.
like it's just the way humans are. Like you see somebody do something,
Yeah.
you don't know why they're doing it, but you're like,
Yeah.
well, I'll better be safe than sorry, and I'm just do the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, people like to freak out easily, and it's just a flu. It's not like like a seasonal flu, the same symptoms you have, and seasonal
Yeah.
flu kills way more people.
Yeah.
Um,
So seasonal flu kills like I think the last I saw was like 30 to
that's
40,000
it,
in
yeah,
the U.S.
in the U.S.
In the whole
and
world, it's like more than 200,000.
imagine the news were reporting that
Yeah.
every year. Oh my God, this person had we get sick.
Right.
Like wow, that person got sick, and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
then
I think it's a combination of things. Like it's something. First of all, it's something new,
yeah,
and so if something new, it's always more interesting than the
yeah,
flu. Like
it makes the headline. It's
makes
something keeps you
headlines.
on
It
TV.
keeps you viewed.
Yeah,
And at the end of the day, like I think these media companies, I mean, they're the news. I mean, they're
yeah,
at the end of the day, they are surviving because of their advertisers,
yeah.
and and that has something to do with it also.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, like it makes Trump look bad. So I think
Yeah, so it's like depending on what side,
yeah,
everybody has their motives.
yeah, motives behind it.
But I mean, I think you just got to kind of do your own research.
Just to
Just
see,
look at
yeah,
the numbers, think about it yourself. I mean, you're far more likely to get the regular flu.
yeah. Even
And
this one though, I don't think you can contain it. Like I'm at a point, I'm thinking it's just gonna be
yeah, so
everywhere, and
yeah, I
then
mean,
a good number of people get it, just like they get the seasonal flu.
yeah. So I think that's what every country's kind of trying to prevent now is like
Yeah,
if they try to prevent it from spreading, they're able to have a better chance of containing it, and
yeah,
so it doesn't become a seasonal thing.
yeah,
Because like if it's a seasonal thing, so you'll have like the seasonal flu, like we have,
yeah,
like flu season comes around, and every year it kills roughly 30 to I think it's 30 to 40,000 in the U.S.
yeah,
So imagine if this coronavirus becomes a seasonal thing and it kills, who knows? I mean, the numbers aren't clear now, but let's just
yeah,
say it's comparable, maybe another 30,000.
yeah.
So that'll be like another 30,000 on top of the 30,000
Yeah, that's a lot of
the,
death.
the
Yeah,
regular flu kills.
yeah,
So that's what every government is trying to do is to try to contain it so it doesn't become a seasonal thing.
yeah,
So if you're able to do that, then you're able to save a lot of lives. So I think that's what the goal is. But as far as like, I mean, regular people is like, there's not much you can do. It's like,
no, you really. I mean, if you have a good immune system, I think
Yeah.
you're okay.
yeah,
If you have a bad immune system, it's bad. One thing I was reading, I was actually not reading or listening to somebody. They're talking about how during the Spanish flu that happened, one major thing that took place. I think that was during World War One. And then the food sources got very low, and people were eating canned food, a lot of food. They're preserved,
yeah,
and so they weren't as nutritious.
right,
I think even our modern food are not that nutritious either. I feel like we're missing a lot of nutrition because the way we manufacture overdo it. And so if you don't have the proper vitamin, if you don't have the proper nutrition in your system, you're more prone to get this type of flu.
yeah.
Maybe that's one of the reasons it's spreading so fast.
And also just stressing about it,
Yeah,
freaking out about it. It
that
also,
probably gives you more anxiety and
Yeah.
yeah, weakens your immune system.
yeah. I mean, just wash your hands. A lot of common sense, basic things that you would normally do.
Yeah.
Um,
But during regular flu season, though, I mean, I feel like I wash my hand, but
Yeah.
but you still get it. I mean, somebody has it, you're working with somebody that's always coughing and sneezing, it's almost like guaranteed to get it.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean,
Also, like a lot of people can't afford to stay home and miss work.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's another thing I think about. Like if they're sick, whatever, they're not gonna go right away. Oh, CDC, having the symptoms. They
now I'm
might still-
quarantined for 2 to 3 weeks.
yeah, 2 to 3 weeks, and I don't know how that works with the job wise and all that stuff. So like that part's kind of scary. I think what's more scary is just how the healthcare system is gonna able to deal with all this stuff. The
Yeah.
overload of people going in, asking for doctor visits. It's gonna overwhelm the system. So that part worries me.
Yeah.
But I guess if you are a cancer patient, if you have a weak immune system,
Yeah,
like
and-
you should be really, really careful.
Yeah.
You should be freaking out a little bit.
Yeah,
Make sure.
yeah. I mean, and it's targeting elderly people.
Yeah.
So they're like in the nursing home in
Yeah.
Washington.
Washington. Yeah.
It
So
killed,
I think it's important that
think
nursing homes are
7 people.
7 or 8
nursing
people, something like that. I heard probably
Yeah.
more now.
And it's probably like one of the workers or one of the nurses probably brought
Had
it
it,
in. I mean,
yeah.
because the people in nursing home, they don't really go out that much. Like they're just
Yeah.
in nursing home, right? So it had to be one of the workers or one of the nurses,
Yeah.
that goes home, goes out, goes to the market, whatever, and then
Yeah.
comes back, and then unfortunately brought it into the nursing home.
Yeah.
Which is probably the worst place for this thing. The worst thing to.
Well, the scariest, like that nurse might have not known she was
Oh, yeah.
sick. She was
Yeah,
carrying
so-
it. She had no temperature. She had
Right.
nothing. She was walking around.
Like a younger person,
Yeah.
they might be sick with it, and then they just rest and then recover.
Recovered. They thought,
And,
"Ah, I
and
was
they
having a
probably
little," yeah.
never even known
That
that they had
coronavirus.
coronavirus,
Yeah.
right? But in the meantime, they also were probably spreading it around,
Yeah.
and then they recovered, and like the numbers that you see are only the numbers that people go to the hospital, they get tested, and it's
Yeah.
confirmed. But what about all the people that didn't go to the hospital?
Still, yeah.
They spread it, they got sick, but
Yeah.
they recovered. So those numbers are never reported. So
Yeah.
so it's like it's I think yeah, like I agree with you. It's impossible to contain now. It's out there,
Yeah.
and there's really not much. I mean, there's efforts to try to
Yeah.
contain it, and I mean I think they're justified, but I think it's a little too late.
Totally. Well, I did hear like warmer temperature apparently destroys the virus, or it doesn't do too well.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I think that's one of the hopes, but you gotta remember like when our winter ends, winter in the southern hemisphere begins.
Yeah, so they might be,
So
you know,
so
getting it.
it could go into the southern hemisphere, and then just kind of spread its way over there also.
Yeah, so that I think the annual thing that's I'm kind of concerned about. The good thing is it doesn't affect children as much. That's what I noticed. They're
Yeah,
not affected as
it tends to be the elderly, and I did see a report that, at least from the early reports, that it tends to be male, male
elderly.
elderly.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
And so I mean, there's more studies need to be done, but
Yeah.
maybe just the receptors that
Yeah.
males have in there.
Yeah, the most interesting that I learned from, I didn't realize it was it could be an annual thing. You know?
Right, yeah.
So I thought it'd be like, oh, this is it, it'll just disappear. But if it's an annual thing, that's
Yeah.
a big.
Who
That's
told
a
you
huge,
that? That's genius.
right? So that's a game changer, you know.
Yeah.
So that's something it is concerning. You don't want it every
Yeah.
single year to have it. I mean, eventually there'll probably be a vaccine for it.
Yeah. So so that's the thing. Is like
Yeah.
so far as we know currently is
Yeah.
it hasn't mutated. So I mean the viruses mutate. So if this virus does not mutate yet, and you get a vaccine,
Yeah.
then you have a really high chance of eradicating it
Yeah.
if people take the vaccine. Like there's people that are anti-vax
Vaccine. Yeah. How
But
that's.
but like if it doesn't mutate,
Yeah.
you could have a really high chance of eradicating it. But like the flu virus,
Yeah.
the reason why there's a seasonal thing is because the flu virus now mutates.
Yeah.
So every year it's a different form of the virus. So you're never able to eradicate it because
Eradicate
it
it.
changes.
Yeah. Maybe it's a nature way to reduce population. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It has to happen. I mean, it's happened with multiple other viruses.
Oh yeah, so the Spanish flu was big, the bubonic plague, but that was bacteria, I think.
Yeah.
So that was before antibiotic and all that,
Right.
as far as I know. Yeah, so just wash your hands and
Yeah.
make sure your immune system is pretty good. Eat the right food,
Yeah.
and hope for the best.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Just
Yeah.
practice good hygiene.
Yeah,
All right, guys. Please leave us a comment if you agree with anything we said, disagree with anything we said. Consider subscribing if you like what we're doing. Give a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. We'll catch you in the next one.
peace.